you actually plug your microphone in, it may actually work. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. Oh, we're not seeing anything. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Probably want to pull something somewhere. Alright, we're going to do some Kubernetes today. Apparently we're not doing the Kubernetes there. Ow. Alright. Alright. So let's see if we do browser window. Browser window would be good. Why would browser window work? That would just make no sense. Oh, it's actually the right window. It's on the wrong tab. Oh no, that's fine. Alright. And I think it's this one. Oh, yes, look at that. Okay, so let's turn the browser window off for now. So where are we here? Oh, we're on my Kubernetes deployment. Okay, so let's look at the Kubernetes deployment. Well, that's where we were. I want to do a kubectl. Alright, so let me give you some background here just quickly. A long time ago, far, far away place, very, very many streams ago, we actually sat there and we had this guy where I showed you guys how to actually deploy this. Right now, again, it's an older version of Kubernetes, not ancient, but not current, and probably not supported anymore. And so it comes up okay. But let's check what we have here. So let's do get nodes. Do I want nodes? I want to get nodes. So we'll see what's there. Ooh, one of my nodes is up. Yay. Alright, so let's do this. Let's go get pods. You can see I have a pod up. Alright, so let me bring my browser window back here. So this is actually where I'm actually going to right now, just so you can just see. It's still not working. Alright, not very. Oh, it does work. That's weird. Oh, I think hang on. I thought I had thrown away this service, but I didn't. Maybe I did. Maybe it's just remembering. Anyways, okay, so let's go back here, get out here, and I'm going to redeploy. Alright, so what I have here is, I'll actually show you guys. API examples, try external direct. Alright, so I've actually tried this before. So it's using port 80 and it's forwarding on to port 80. My external IP is just the IP I'm using locally. And the one thing actually, I bring back up my browser window for a second here. I was digging through when I was doing some debugging, and so I've gone through. I kind of was a little bit weirded by this. Did it ask me here? Yeah, the app selector. I mean, I wasn't quite sure what this was. Again, because I'm not using Kubernetes every day, I'm just doing broadcasts and pods with it and doing a little bit of studying on it. But I'm not by any means a Kubernetes expert. I was like, this app selector doesn't seem right now. App host names is what they're using. Mine is actually, if you look over here, if you look over here on the left side, it was Nginx or Nginx, however you want to pronounce that. It wasn't here the host names like I have here. So it was a different one. So then when it got down here, it says, does the service have any endpoints? So I did this. I did get pods, blah, blah, blah. And of course, for app equals nginx, nothing, nada, nunca, zilp, zero, zilch, because of course there isn't one. So I thought, here, let me leave that as is. And let me go over here and try, because my app is called HTTPD. So let's get over here. Oops. It'd help if I actually selected the window. There we go. So let's actually deploy that. So I'm deploying it locally here. Actually, let me get the browser window out of the way here. Sorry, people. I think I'm going to sit there and build a broadcasting system because it's very annoying to sit there and switch windows on and off. Probably for you too. Alright, so we'll go ahead, and if I'm on the right window, that would even be better. Alright, we'll create. Now, I never get any errors, or hardly ever get any errors, so I'm deploying this remotely, but I have the things local so that I can do something. So let's go remote now. Remote! So we'll get pods again, we'll get services, and now that service is up. It's listening on port 80. We'll bring the browser back up. And now the cool thing is, if this is really what I think it is, we should be able to sit there and have this work. And now let's do it again. It does work. And to prove to you that it's not just me fiddling, because I always like to do that, let's go and connect in. Now, I've actually shown before how you can do this with port forwarding, right? So, but port forwarding is very brittle. The problem with port forwarding is that it's actually like a little thing that's running part of your kubectl command, right? So you do kubectl port forward, blah blah blah. It sits there and locks you up because it's actually doing the port forwarding in real time, right? So the thing is, it's going to report to you. People are connecting, it's forwarding, blah blah blah. It works, but it's more for debugging. Whereas this one, if I'm understanding correctly, and I'll still have to do more digging afterwards, but if I'm understanding correctly, then this one will allow us to not have to worry about that. So let's connect in. I actually have the connection command a little bit further back. So I don't know, I was checking something else. Okay, so here it is, connection command. We'll cd into HTTPD. Of course, we'll cd into htdocs. All right, so there's index.html. If we do cat index.html, it'll say it works. So we're going to do echo to h2 to, let's see, it's new 2023 again, 121.html. All right, so let's go back over here. It's funny because I always think to myself, if people don't really believe that I'm doing this live, but I'm just too unorganized to sit there and to have put something together. New 2023-0121 HTML, and I'll wait with bated breath for it to work. Looks like we have external access. Woohoo! So this is going to be a short bit here, but a little bit of success. It didn't take me too long to kind of figure it out once I was doing the debugging. I was actually just kind of looking to see how I would do it rather than trying to hardcore figure it out. But I will show you one of the debugging commands, so I'll go back here. Let's turn off the browser window because we don't need that right now. So yeah, let's get out of the container. and I'll show you. So if you do get services, it shows you this, right? But the thing is, I want to see more. So how can you see more? So you can sit there and say get service and tell it services, and you can see I didn't change the name of the service. I kept the name as Nginx service or Nginx. Oh, I deleted it. Shoot. It would be better if I was not half sleeping. So let's deploy it again. All right, let's come back in. Let me read what I'm typing this time, or what I'm up arrowing to. All right, so that's the end result. So I don't want to delete it. Let's just get service. So you can say this, but this doesn't really tell you much. This is just exactly. It just filters on you know, that there's another Kubernetes service. I guess that's the management service. But the kind of interesting thing would be this one, where its output is JSON here. So let's go and see this. And you can see there's my external IP. I can't highlight here, so I'm just going to sit there and point and talk about it. The external IP is what we supply in the YAML. The cluster IP is what it is supplying automatically, right? But then it's the selector that's the important part, right? So this is where, as a guy who understands networking and a guy who understands a little bit about how apps work and how operating systems work, I was confused because I didn't realize that it's not looking for the IP address. It's looking for the selector to know where to route this to. So that app selector is very important. So I will show you the app equals that I did. All right, so at first I did this, which of course it says nothing. And I mistyped HTTP at first. I did it like this, and there's nothing. I was like, what? If you do this, now if you do this without any qualifiers, it'll show you all, right? But the important thing is that it's got an outlet to send the data to. So now what I need to do is I need to be able to build a little bit of a package to send to HTTPD to be able to serve, because like right now we're serving exactly 2 files. I'm just kidding. Well, let me put it on browser window. Let me find the browser window. Where did I put it? Oh yes, I forgot. Where are you, Mr. Browser Window? It's not that one. It's this one. Looks like we have external access, so we can like toggle back and forth between these two. Now, of course, always satisfied with what I've accomplished. I'm now looking to do something new, which is possibly have this work with HTTPS. So that will be a little bit more of a journey. There's a little bit more to do in here to get that working. But you know, small steps, right? So the thing is that we've moved up from something that's kind of a debugging / hack piece, which was just the port forward, right? Which I think that's really cool. The only thing is that needed to be run as root to be effective. And you needed to sit there and have it running all the time. So the thing is that you might be able to sit there and put it into the background or whatever, but you're still not you know, kind of doing it live. Whereas this piece, which I'm still not 100% sure on all the implications of, this one's part of a YAML deployment. So you could sit there and deploy, which I didn't show before, but I did actually that remotely as well. This HTTPD is just a bunch of YAML. It's pulling in a standard image. It's just an HTTP server with no content. It's got that, what's it called? It works. That's it. Right? But I know how to get access to it, so we can add files. So the thing is that this is the kind of cool thing. All right. I think that's it for tonight. So let me just see. Let me stop this guy for a second. All right. You can see you just get service. Just get service all by itself. You can see. So the way that I was trying to debug this was to do this telnet 10.0.100.4. That's actually my cloud provider's IP address, right? So that's the local IP address that they give me. And you can see, so I can do like a get http/1.0, right? Now the more interesting one would be to do this get slash, what did we call it? Oh my goodness, I'm going to remember it off the top of my head. So let me copy it down. So it's get new -2023 -01 21. This seemed like a good idea at the time. .html http 0. All right, and you can see it says it looks like we have external access. Now let's try to delete the service. I actually did that by accident here. All right, now let's try to tell that back in. Okay, so it does refuse the connection here. I think it's just cached, right? So let's actually go back. I will redeploy just to make sure. Okay, so let's go here. Let's do a reload. Oh, this looks more promising. Why is it important? Because if it's actually not the service, yeah, I think it's just cached. Which is weird, but that's okay. All right. Also, I haven't said how much memory do I have here? Yeah, my old laptop is starting to show its age here, and plus I'm running probably too much stuff on it directly. But let's go back. Let's stop this for a second. So let's come back local. It always happens. It would actually come. All right, we're gonna redeploy the service. Let's make sure the service is running here. Don't delete it. Don't delete it. Okay, there's the service again. And with the redeployment of the service, let's bring the browser window back. All right, so that the top page, it works. Second page, it also works. So this is good stuff. So we know that adding the service in will expose our stuff, and I can say like here it is. Here this IP address here. That IP address there is the actual IP address that's given out on the internet. Now, I'll probably only have this IP address for 5 more minutes because I'm gonna sit there and spin this down after we're finished the live stream here. But the idea here is that this is a way to actually bring up. Now, the thing is though that this is a specific address on a specific node on the cluster. So I will say this is definitely not high availability. It's not anti-fragile, but it is a little bit of a cool way to go forward. The one thing is that you'd have to architect this to be thoughtful about where your nodes are, because this is the node address, right? It's using the node address to leverage and get access. Now, a better strategy, if I understood Ingress a little bit better, would be to bind the node address to Ingress, and then let Ingress figure out things like where things should be routed to. But right now, I just wanted to sit there and kind of do a quick and dirty. I want my pod to be able to sit there and actually serve traffic. So this is actually a really kind of cool thing. And it's actually pretty valuable because if I can do this and I can deploy this, then I can build some bits around this that do have a little bit of resiliency, right? So that will be nice. Anyways, okay, so I think that I'm done for now. If you guys have any questions, you can sit there and leave them in the comments. I'll be continuing both my series, and I will from time to time do some more of these live hop-on sessions as I go through all of the crap that I bought over the last month or so in post-holiday sales, get it configured and start to make it useful. I'll start to make use of that more, and hopefully I'll have a little bit better and smoother online journey. Until next time, I will see you guys. Lots